On this tutorial, I will demonstrate a roller pin curl set that is designed to meet the Government of Alberta's criteria for second period practical exam. So we will begin with curvature shape on the top, which is one length of a roller from the center of the front hairline. Put your finger on, and then one diameter plus the length back, making a horseshoe shaped section. Again, this does not have to be curvature. I've just found that this works better than straight back or bricklay. So on the other side, I will also measure one full length and continue that curve shape. Once I have my basic shape carved out, I'm going to turn my mannequin around and look at my balance. So this is where you can adjust slightly to have that nice curved horseshoe shape. Again, it should be full length, and then diameter plus the length. And we are using, in this case, 1 inch diameter rollers. I will clip that section out of the way. Move on to the sides. So both side sections are going to be the same. This is where we're going to put our flat pin curls. So I'm going to measure the full length of a roller along the part, and your roller is 3 inches or about 2.5 inches in length. So full roller, put my finger on, and I'm just going to part straight down to just behind the ear. Again, don't want that hair to cover the ear when it comes forward. And at the widest area at the eyebrow, this is going to be very close to 3 inches wide. I will clip that section out of the way as well. And do the same on the other side. So I'm measuring a full length of a roller along that part, and then parting straight down to just behind the ear. So that when I bring it forward, this section clears the top of the ear, as well as being approximately 3 inches in width at the eyebrow. And again, these sides is where I will demonstrate flat pin curls. Criteria are you must have clockwise and counterclockwise pin curls, as well as stand up. So on the right side of the head, we will have counterclockwise. On the left side, we will have clockwise. Now for the remainder of the hair in the back, I'm going to clip it out of the way, and we will work section by section down the back. So I'm going to go to my top section and start with my rollers. I'm going to comb the hair left to right. It just makes it easier, being right-handed, to work from left to right. So again, we're using 1-inch diameter rollers, And our base control for all 4 rollers is going to be 1.5 diameters, half off base. So I'm going to start my measuring on the outside of my shape, 1.5 diameters. And I am going to go right from the very center of the front hairline. This will make a triangle shape. You can apply your rollers as you go, or you can section and then apply. So 1.5 diameters. Now I'm going to move about 1/4 inch back from that front hairline. Still triangle shape parting, and I'm going to pre-section my rollers first before I apply the rollers. And this is just to make sure that I don't have my sections too small, too big. Continue to measure 1.5 diameters. This 3rd roller will come from the exact same point as the 2nd. Another triangle shape. The remaining hair I have left, when I measure, should be very close to 1.5 diameters. If it's slightly less, slightly more, it's fine. So your 4 sections, all 1.5 diameter base size. Now I'm going to apply my rollers. Half off base, tool position. I'm going to start at the left side. Half off base tool position is 90 from the center of the base. Also make sure that you're 90 from the back of the shape. Let this hair move off the front hairline, because we did measure diameter plus the length when we measured the size of our section. Stand equal to your base and smooth the hair on your rollers and roll down to your base. Half on, half off your parting. And a clip along the part from the front. This roller, it is okay to also put a clip at the back to hold. This is my next parting, so I do need to move so that I am standing equal to my part. Still half off base tool position, 90 from the center of the base, and remember to be 90 straight up from the back of your shape as well. Smooth that hair and in to sit half on, half off its part. Clip from the front only. Again, here's my base. I need to move so that I'm standing equal to my base parting. Half off base again, 90 from the center of the base, 90 from the back of the shape, and apply your roller. Part or clip from the front again. The last section, my front hairline is my base. So make sure that you're standing equal to that front hairline and still half off base tool position. This roller should sit on the forehead and clip from the front. I'm going to move to the side sections to begin my flat pin curls. I'm going to start on the right side. Doesn't matter whether you do right first or left first. Now, because I do have to mold an oblong, I am going to apply some gel. Just helps control that hair, allows me to make that oblong shape, and allows me to control the ends of my pin curl. So I need to first make an oblong. So a C shape with a closed end and an open end. My closed end, also called the convex end, will be at the back of the shape. My open end, called my concave, will be at the front. So I start at the closed end, or my convex, and I make a C. So I comb the hair back at 45, hold, and I comb forward. And I continue until I have my oblong or my C shape that goes from the back to the front. To apply my pin curls, 2 fingers, and I'm going to part from my second knuckle to the end of my finger, which is about an inch. When you pull this hair, this top part of your C shape should not move. Use your index finger to hold that hair, ribbon, smooth that hair, and this is why the gel will help, and make your circle. Your circle will sit within that C. Hold it flat against the head with your fingers, and you are going to clip from the open towards the close. Inside of the circle, clip on the stem. I'm going to move back, 2 finger width, part 1 inch, or from my second knuckle to the tip of my finger. Hold with your index, smooth, ribbon, and make my circle. And again, roll it up tight within your C shape, but do not overlap on top of your stem. Hold it flat against the head. I will clip inside the circle on the stem. I see my stem, then I see my circle. And one more. 2 fingers, part approximately 1 inch. Hold between my index finger and thumb, smooth and ribbon, and make your circle. Keeping your tails underneath, wind it up, hold it flat to the head. It is a flat pin curl, and clip inside the circle onto your stem. Now I'm going to do one more row, and these are counterclockwise. So again, I need to mold that C shape first. Just securing this hair and making sure that I don't pull into that back. So comb back, hold, and forward. Make that oblong or that C. 2 fingers and hold with my index and thumb, smooth ribbon, make my circle, and wind it within my C shape. Hold it flat against the head, and you will clip inside the circle on the stem, making sure that you're not clipping over top of the circle. My second one, and I should be using all of this hair down to the ear. It needs to go within that pin curl. Smooth and ribbon. Make your circle. Wind it up within your shape. And hold it flat. Clip inside your fingers. I'm just going to reclip this pin curl a little further back, and my last pin curl. Now the criteria for government is 3 of each kind, but you're always better to have more than not enough. So that's why we are doing 6 on each side. Just moving that clip so it doesn't interfere with my side section. So on the left side, I am going to create clockwise. So everything's the same other than my pin curls are going in a clockwise direction. Wet, I'm going to add some gel for control. Again, to make that C shape, you start at the back or the convex end, comb back, hold, and forward. So making an oblong or a C. 2 fingers, and we want to part 1 inch along your finger. Use your thumb, separate that hair, index finger, ribbon, smooth, and create your circle. Roll it up within the shape, hold it flat against the head, and pin between your fingers through the circle onto the stem. Move back another inch. So everything is still the same, other than these are now clockwise, where the other side was counterclockwise. Keeping those ends tucked in, holding that flat against the head, and clipping inside the circle. 1 more row. I'm just going to take off this little bit of excess hair. Back, forward, make that C. So when I'm applying my pin curls, I'm always starting at the open end, but to make my C, I begin at the closed. 2 fingers and part approximately 1 inch. And again, make sure that you are incorporating all that hair. Make my circle, roll it up, hold it flat against the head, clip inside the circle onto the stem. And I will do 2 more to finish off this side. So those are my clockwise and counterclockwise pin curls. So now I'm going to move to the back and I'm going to begin my stand-up pin curls. Again, another one of the criteria for this set is that you need to have stand-up pin curls. Also called volume pin curls, called cascade pin curls. Again, use a little gel to control that hair. I am going to do 2 rows of stand-up pin curls. If I measure the diameter of my rollers I'm using, they're 1 inch, so the size of my pin curl bases are also going to be 1 inch. So I'm going to measure 1 inch in the middle. And to keep my sections curved up, I'm going to go slightly less than an inch at either side. I want to keep these sections curved, following the curve of the head. So there's my section, 1 inch to less than an inch. Now to subdivide. I'm going to do alternating triangles. It avoids splits and it allows your pin curls to set neatly within your shape. So I'm going to start and measure 1 inch at the bottom, and from a point, there's my first triangle shape. So now alternating, my point is going to be at the bottom, so I measure 1 inch at the top. My second triangle, and what I have left, my third triangle. Now I'm going to start on the right side. Comb this hair back. These need to be on base tool position. So back at 45, pinch between your thumb and finger, ribbon, smooth, make your circle, and down. Pull this back so that you can see your parting on base for these pin curls. And I will clip inside that circle onto the base. My next one, 45 degrees above the center, pinch, ribbon, smooth, make my circle. My circles need to be approximately the same diameter as my rollers or slightly smaller. When I pin my next one, my clip will go through the first circle, then I open and clip. Now I'm just going to slide that first clip over, and then my third pin curl in this row. On base, 45 degrees above the center, pinch, smooth, and ribbon. Make your circle and down. Inside the previous circle, open and clip. That's one row. I'm going to do one more row. So again, 1 inch in the center, and I will go just less than an inch at the outside to keep a curved up parting that conforms to the curve of the head. So there's my section. Now I'm going to subdivide. So again, 1 inch, my first triangle, 1 inch, 1 inch. So alternating triangles. I had 3 in this row. I'm going to have 4 in my next row. Again, starting on the right-hand side and working right to left, being right-handed. Comb it back at 45, pinch, smooth, and ribbon. Make your circle and clip inside the circle onto the base. I will continue with 3 more stand-up pin curls on this row. So I have now met the criteria for my pin curls. Counterclockwise, clockwise, and stand up. Now for the remainder of my rollers, I'm going to do 2 rows of 1 diameter on base, 2 rows of 1 diameter half off base, and 1 row of 1 diameter off. And that again is the criteria that you include on, half off, and off base tool position. So 1 diameter in the center, 2 less than a diameter at the outside, keeping your shape curved up. So I'm going to section out my entire shape first, then I will subdivide. I also want to brick lay down this back, so I'm going to start with 1 long roller in the center. And remember, that means just slightly less than the length of a long roller. These first 2 rows are going to be on base, which means 45 degrees above the center of your base. So I'm 1 diameter on base. You should be able to see your party. Maneuver that hair around your clip. Again, on base, 45 degrees above the center. And I am still using the same diameter rollers that I did on the top. Wind in, move it so that your pin sits inside, and clip. One more on the other side. 45 degrees above the center of the base to create on base tool position. I'm going to clip on the outside as to not disturb my center roller. I'm going to do 1 more row of on base.